Okay. All right. So I don't. Obviously, you said you don't remember who I am. I have.
Sir, I remember who you was. I didn't want any problems or anything. I remember you, and you had asked me about my tattoo, and I really didn't want any problems, and I'm really sorry if it offended you. There's a really long story behind it. Actually, I was in a very abusive relationship, and my ex-husband had put that on me, and I was like in the works of getting it covered up, and that was just kind of like my boost to go get it covered up because I realized how offensive it really was.
Yeah.
And because I mean, that's not me at all. Like, I'm not a part of that, and I'm not. That belief system is like totally against everything I believe in.
Well,
And I am.
no.
Go ahead. I apologize.
No. Listen. So my wife is Jewish, and I'm not. I grew up Southern Baptist, and I call myself kind of recovering Southern Baptist. But I didn't know a lot about Judaism and didn't know a lot about a lot of things until I met my wife. And a couple of days before I'd walked in, I went to the Clinton Library and listened to a gentleman who had was a survivor of the Holocaust, right? So I think I was just kind of hypersensitive at the time, and I came in and I don't know why I felt to say something, but I felt that I needed to, and so I did. And I'll tell you my side of the story. I called the manager and talked to them, and then and I said, I want you to do me a favor. I said, please, under no circumstances don't fire her, don't do anything to upset her job. I said, I don't know her, I don't know anything about her. And I ended up getting a call from like the corporate office. And I said, listen, I found it disturbing, with my Jewish children to see that, but I don't want you, please do not do anything to upset her job. I said, I think just maybe if it was covered or something, and so I posted something on Facebook right after that happened. I didn't mention the restaurant. I didn't mention you. During every conversation I've ever had about this, I've never mentioned where it was or who you are, because I just never have. And I got a lot of responses from people, some that were angry and some that were very sympathetic. And one friend in particular said, you don't know people's stories, and
Yes, sir.
you can't assume anything about anyone because you don't know where they came from or where she is in her life or what she's trying to do. You can't just assume something like that about someone. And it kind of hit me. I thought about that a whole lot over the last months and months and months. But I came in recently and noticed that you had the tattoo covered, and I was happy. It made me happy to see that you no longer had to put Band-Aids on or something to cover that. And so I went back on Facebook and I said, I was moved by what my friend had said. Don't judge people. And because I work with people that live with mental illness, I'm always I try to be very empathetic and try to understand where people are coming from. And I said, she covered it. She had a new tattoo put over it. And I said, it probably cost her a lot of money to do that. And I started a GoFundMe. And so if you could just open up the envelope now, I had a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family members reply and say stuff that was very positive. And so I started a GoFundMe because I just wanted to pay you back for you having for you taking the time and energy to put to cover your tattoo. And
Sir, I can't accept this. I accepted I needed to do.
You're going to have to accept it because people responded out of their own hearts and kindness and so we raised almost $400 for you. And you can, obviously, that's your money to do with how you would like.
I mean, I really can't accept this.
Yes, you can. You can accept it.
I'm so sorry I offended you.
Listen, you do not have to apologize. You know, I mean, you said that this was something that was, you know, I don't know who you are. I don't know what's in your heart, and I would never assume anything. And so I'm just happy that you did what you did to cover the tattoo, and I wanted to repay you, just kind of pay it forward and say thank you and how happy I am that you did that.
I'm so glad that I could be that to you, I guess. I don't even know what to say right now. That was the last thing I was expecting.
Well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, there's not. I just, obviously for you to be able to work at the same place for a full year, and every time I come in, you're always very sweet and kind to me, and I knew that you knew who I was. I mean, but you're always very kind and respectful, and that I don't know. I just people were compelled to give, and they did.
Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you, sir.
You don't have to do anything. I
don't know what to say right now. I'm so glad that I was able to, I guess, I don't even know how to explain my emotions right now.
Yeah. I know things are tough right now with all this stuff that's happening with this coronavirus, and it's really hitting. I know a lot of service industry people a lot. I've got a lot of dear friends that work in restaurants and service industry stuff, and so it was probably pretty good timing.
Oh, you have no idea.
But
I am a recovering alcoholic, and I've been sober for a little over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I live at a Chem-free, and yeah, it's been tough.
Wow.
You are an angel in disguise.
I'm not. It was really a lot of people that were compelled to give, and so I'm just happy that I'm happy for what you did, and I'm happy that this could be helpful for you. And
well, I would be happy to let you get a picture of it to post.
I would love it, actually. I would absolutely love. I would
Yes,
love
sir.
to do that, and
you can even tell my story or anything, anything that you don't know how grateful I am right now.
well, you know, maybe there's a time once kind of this virus and all this craziness passes, maybe you and I could just go out and sit down and have a cup of coffee sometime, and we'll just sit and chat. Because I'd love to get. I mean, I'd just, you know,
that would be awesome, sir.
Yeah. So.
Yes, sir.
And I have been recording the phone call, and because I wanted to maybe share it with people if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
But I want to keep. You know, I want you to. This is your life. It is not. And I'm not going to mention your name. I'm not going to mention the restaurant, because we all have the right to that type of privacy. And sometimes there are things in our past that we've got to move on from. And you know, I hope that by you having that covered has maybe allowed you a little bit more peace. And
yes, and it was like a closure to my relationship, because I mean it wasn't even about the sign that was on me. It was more about his name, and it said property of my husband's name on there. Wow. And ever since it's like freeing now that it's covered up. Like, I hate the fact that it's still underneath that, but it was like whenever my boss had approached me and said I needed to start covering it up, because I never even thought about it. Like, it wasn't even a big deal to me, because it's not something I believe in.
Yeah.
And whenever they'd asked me to start covering it up, that's when I immediately had made an appointment with the tattoo shop in Sherwood and got it covered up. And I got a blue rose, actually, because my daughter's favorite color is blue and her middle name is Rose.
Oh.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
So
I mean, that's what
yes,
what a beautiful thing. Mostly
yes, sir.
to put your daughter on top and to bury that other piece. You know,
Yes.
it's always going to be a part of you, but it doesn't have to be
It
who
definitely
you are.
doesn't have to define me.
You're damn
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Well,
And
yeah.
I am so grateful for you, and thank you so much for the forgiveness, I guess. I felt awful after you had came through and they had told me that day that you had called up here, and it just, like, I felt so degraded because that's not who I am, and like, every time I seen you come through, like, I wanted to have enough courage to be able to tell you my story and my side of it, and I never could work up enough courage because I didn't know how to approach you, and I didn't know how bad I offended you, or I didn't know your side of the story, and it was just, yeah, it was a kind of wishy-washy situation. Every time I would see you, I would get butterflies because I really wanted to approach you, and then I was scared.
Well, we won't be scared of each other, and we can say hello. And you know, you work in a very diverse environment, and you're always so happy, and you're always, you know, so sweet to me and to other people that I see when I come in. And I just would have, I just want you to know that. Yeah, there's absolutely no hard feelings at all, and I just I admire you. Being 2 years in recovery it's a huge milestone, and it's going to be something that that you'll live with for forever. But stay strong and keep doing what you know is best for you and your daughter and everything else, and things are going to be great. Things are going to be good.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So
you and your family will be in my prayers.
Thank you, and you and ours. And again, once this all kind of clears up, and let's get together. But if you want to send me a picture, you can just text it. This is my cell phone, and I would be.
Of course, I would
love
be
to
more
see
than
it.
happy to.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's stay in touch, and I will see you. I'm sure.
Yes.
I'll see you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.